Hello, my name is Jonathan Helmke. This is video number 2 for to get A with less stress using the CRITIC model. We're going to use an example today to apply the CRITIC model to a article that we found online. So our topic today, our example topic today, is going to be children, especially preschool children between ages 2 and 5. That's the age bracket we're kind of looking at. And so we're going to apply the CRITIC model. So let's say that's our topic of our paper. And we did a web search. And we found this article on this website called Baby Center. And it's screen time for kids, how much is too much. So we're going to apply the CRITIC model to see if this is a great source to use for our paper. That's kind of the goal. So let's go through each of the steps. The first 5 steps in the conclusion is basically, should we use this in our paper as a source? So let's go first. First is the claim. So as we're reading the article, usually the claim typically is in the first couple paragraphs. If the author is a good writer, they would tell your claim pretty early on. So basically the claim is what they're making is too much screen time can impact a child's development and contribute to weight and sleep problems. Kids younger than 18 months shouldn't have screen time except for video chatting alongside adults. Limited high quality viewing is recommended for kids 18 to 24 months, and from 2 to 5 years, screen use should be capped an hour a day. So that typically, as I read through this article, that is the claim that they're making. So we identified the claim, and basically now we have to follow the other steps to see if this claim can be, this resource can be used based on this claim. So the next thing is the role of the claimant. Remember in the first video, that is the author. Who is the author? So if you notice up here, it says they noticed that it was by Karen Miles, and it was medically reviewed by Dr. Shu, who's an MD, and the date was September 21st, 2021. Now the first question I have is, who is Karen Miles? So usually if I scroll down to the end, and we'll scroll down here on this particular website here, if they have it. Now, not all websites have that, but this one did way at the end of the article. And here's about Karen Miles. Karen Miles is a writer and an expert on pregnancy and parenting who has contributed to Baby Center for more than 20 years. She's passionate about bringing up-to-date user information to parents. But one thing that I would question is it does not give her credentials. That means, does she have a degree in psychology, educational psychology, or child development? They say she's an expert on parenting, but what does that mean? So that is a red flag for me. Is Karen Miles has credibility to write this article? Now, it was reviewed by a doctor, if you noticed, but the author is a red flag. So I would take that into consideration. So the role of the claimant is, who's the author? In this one, I would say there is a question about the author here. Does she have the expertise in this area? Let's scroll back to the top here. So we identified the role of the claimant, that's the author. Also, the idea of the role of the claimant is the Baby Center, who sponsors this website. And what is their idea? So I would look at, for example, what's the main emphasis of the Baby Center? Is it to provide information? Is it to sell things? So I would look at this website and making sure that, okay, and here's it says Baby Center is committed to providing the most helpful and trustworthy pregnancy and parenting information in the world. Our content is doctor approved and evidence based. And so I would make sure that, okay, if they're saying that, I would verify that. It's maybe read about us, do that kind of thing. So you want to also identify the sponsor of the page or the website, the baby center. So for in terms of role of claimant, I would say that's on the fence. Is there's red flag for Karen Miles, for example. Does she have an expertise? Okay, the next step is information backing the claim. That means, do they have sources they're using to back up the claim about too much screen time can impact a child's development? So this time you have to kind of go through the article a little bit to see what they say. So here's what screen time is, what about video chats, screen time for kids. So you kind of go through here and see. Okay, go through here. Now, one thing I saw, the first thing, evidence, information backing the claim is, here's what the American Academy of Pediatrics, AAP, recommends for children. Now, one red flag for this, it doesn't tell me what the year of the information. Is it current? All they're saying is, here's what they recommend, but what is the year of this recommendation? Then they go through this time. So then I would say, I would do a web search then on AAP, say what they're about, but also see the year of these guidelines. The next thing is the information backing the claim is, this is according to Common Sense Media. But this is another red flag, is they don't tell you what type of information or type of group this Common Sense Media is. And also, it doesn't tell you what date this information is coming from. So that's another red flag, I would say, in terms of, okay, how much screen time is common for kids. So, and also they mention here is, they say, okay, here's they spend their screen time. Okay, what are the downsides? There's a strong case to be made to a treatment can be harmful to kids. Here's some top concerns. But here's a red flag. They don't tell you where they got this information. All they say is a very generic statement. Studies have shown. What studies? So you want to make sure that this is a red flag. It also says ongoing studies by National Health, but it doesn't give you a year. It doesn't give, now there's a link, but if I click on that link, for example, and we can click on here, it still does not give me a year. So that tells me that, now, they do somewhat give you a date in here about the NIH study they did 2018. So it does give you a little more, but basically it's still pretty much a red flag because it gave you a year, but it's a little too sketchy. So you still want to be careful of the source because there's still some language in here that doesn't give me exact where they got the information from and what year is it current information. And so you just want to make sure that you're double checking this information. Okay, so, and I saw this throughout the whole article where they say here's the information, but they don't tell you where the information, it doesn't give you in the text where the information came from. So that gives me a little bit hesitation on this particular area. Okay, testing. That means, can you test their claim? Yeah, you could test this for screen time on children development, where you can think, okay, they could test this by, for example, taking several children from ages 2 to 5 and see what the impact is over maybe a year on the screen use. So basically, yeah, they're saying it's not, they're saying it can be tested. So that is positive in terms of the CRITIC model. Okay, this source, the claim can be tested. So that's one positive about this article for this resource. Independent verification. That means that can I verify this information they're telling me in another source? And yes, you can. They give you some clues of where the information possibly could do. So I could take some of this information and do in our library databases, for example, see if I can find this study by National Institute of Health, maybe find some more studies about hyperactivity and screen time. I could verify in other sources. So that's one positive part of this area. So the last thing is conclusion. Should I use this article in my paper? I would say that it will be on the fence. I would say this might be the last source I might use. I might try to find other sources. This one I may make a note that it's available, but I would not use it right away. I would find other sources because I do have concerns, for example, of the author. That's the role of the claimant. Is she an expert in this area? But also information back in the claim that they're making some claims, but the citations are not there to saying where they got the information from. And so I would have to do some more independent verification before I use this resource. So I would say this would be a resource that I would just put in my back pocket and just say, well, maybe I'll use it later if I need to, and I can do some little more research just to verify the information. In conclusion, I would say that also too is that if you have any questions about source, you can ask the library to help you, and we can help you with that. You can use our Ask a Librarian source. And I'm going to go to our library webpage. That's library.sfesu.edu. And you can always ask a librarian and ask them, is this a source that I can use for my paper? And we can help you go through that page. Thank you for going through this example. Hopefully this helps you understand how you can use the CRITIC to evaluate a website. The next video we will use is do the CRITIC model to look at another resource. Thank you very much, and I look forward to showing you the next example in the next video.